My child, I am trying to save you from a big tragedy now because you won't be able to handle this tragedy tomorrow. Child, there are some things in your life that I am constantly trying to keep you separated from them. But it seems as if you are not paying attention to my words and actions, and you continue walking back toward the very places where your heart is wounded, as if the familiar pain feels safer to you than unfamiliar peace. Yet hear me now, beloved one. I am not trying to take from you. I am trying to preserve you. I am not withholding joy. I am uprooting what has disguised itself as joy while slowly draining the life from your spirit. There are paths you keep insisting are harmless, but you don't see where they lead. You only see the beginning of the road, smooth, inviting, reflecting the desires you think you need. But I see the end of the road, the bend your eyes cannot see around, the place where the illusion collapses and the sorrow you thought you could outrun waits for you. I see the tears you don't yet know you would cry. And because I love you, I step in now. I interrupt now. I close doors now. I shake foundations now so that you do not build your future on sand that would crumble the moment you needed strength the most. My child, understand something deeply. My protection often feels like disruption. My rescue often feels like loss. My redirection often feels like rejection. When I remove something from your hands, you interpret it as punishment, but I am shielding you from what would consume you. You think I am denying you, but I am delivering you. You think I am silent, but my silence itself is a barrier placed between you and a harm you have not discerned. I stand between you and what you cannot see, absorbing blows meant for you, deflecting arrows that never reach your skin, and dismantling traps set for you long before you knew they existed. Child, why do you grieve every delay as if it is evidence of my absence? Why do you mourn every closed door as if it is proof that I do not care? You do not yet understand that every moment of waiting is an act of mercy, every barrier is a shield, every pause is a part of a larger orchestration you cannot yet perceive. You see time passing, I see foundations forming. You feel the ache of longing. I see the dangers that would have met you had your desires come when you demanded them. You interpret the slow pace as abandonment, but I am slowing you only because the path ahead must be cleared of what would have destroyed you. You ask me often, why do you not allow me to move forward? And I answer by protecting you from what you call forward but I call disaster. You plead for acceleration, but acceleration without alignment leads to collision. I am aligning your steps, not withholding them. I am strengthening your spirit, not ignoring it. I am preparing you to stand, not leaving you to fall. I am cleansing your path, not blocking it. My child, you think you are ready for certain blessings, certain relationships, certain responsibilities, certain seasons, but readiness is not measured by desire. Readiness is measured by capacity, stability, wisdom, and maturity of spirit. And I, who know the intricate details of your internal landscape, know that there are pieces of you still healing, still forming, still awakening. Not because you are weak, but because you are human. Not because you are incapable, but because you are becoming. There is more strength in you than you realize, but strength must be cultivated, not assumed. There are gifts within you that I am calling forth, but gifts bloom in their appointed time, not in the moment you feel impatient. You want harvest before seed, fruit before root, completion before process. But I, your Creator, understand the necessity of timing. I understand what must be pruned before you can flourish. I understand what must be purged before you can advance. I understand what must be surrendered before you can receive. Child, if you could see what I see, you would thank me for every delay. If you could see the weight of the burdens I refuse to let you carry, you would praise me for every no that shattered your expectations. If you knew the truth hidden in the hearts of some people you try to cling to, you would ask me to distance you faster than I already am. If you could see the traps disguised as opportunities, you would rejoice that I closed the path before you could enter. If you could see the spiritual storms that formed beyond your line of sight, you would understand why I led you down a different road, even when that road felt unfamiliar and uncomfortable. I am not preparing tragedy for you. I am preventing it. I am not withholding love from you. I am rescuing you from counterfeits. I am not ignoring your prayers. I am answering them in ways you do not yet recognize. I am not removing things arbitrarily. I am removing what you have mistaken for blessings but are actually chains. Not all comforts are safe. Not all connections are divine. Not all desires are destiny. Child, hear this truth. Some of the things you are praying for right now are things you will one day be grateful I did not give you. Some of the people you are asking me to restore are people you will later realize were sent only for a season, not for your future. Some of the places you want to return to are places where your spirit would eventually suffocate. Some of the dreams you are holding on to are dreams that would have required you to abandon parts of your soul. You were never meant to compromise. I know you do not fully understand the depth of my protection, but I ask you to trust me. Trust me even when trusting feels like loss. Trust me even when obedience feels like surrender. Trust me even when uncertainty feels overwhelming. Trust me even when your heart aches with longing for what I am asking you to walk away from. Trust me because I do not speak to control you. I speak to free you. I do not intervene to punish you. I intervene to preserve you. You are not losing anything that was meant for your destiny. You are losing only what would have delayed it, distorted it, or destroyed it. You are not being isolated, you are being insulated. Isolation leaves you empty. Insulation protects you while I rebuild you. And yes, I am rebuilding you. Much of what you call pain is actually construction. Much of what you call confusion is repositioning. Much of what you call silence is instruction. I am teaching you to discern my voice above the noise of your desires. I am teaching you to recognize my movement even when it doesn't align with your plans. I am teaching you to follow me not because the path is easy, but because you know I am good. My goodness is not defined by how comfortable your journey feels. It is defined by the way I guide you toward life, healing, purpose, and truth. Child, you cannot fully comprehend my strategies because you see in moments while I see in eternity. You focus on what is immediate while I shape what is ultimate. You long for what brings relief. I long for what brings transformation. You seek what soothes your emotions. I cultivate what strengthens your spirit. You want answers. I give wisdom. You want direction. I develop discernment. You want speed. I establish foundation. You want clarity. I give capacity. There are things you have prayed for that require you to become someone new, and transformation is not easy. It stretches you, reshapes you, purifies you, and elevates you. You ask me to take you higher, but higher requires shedding what cannot go with you. You ask me to heal you, but healing requires exposing what wounds you've tried to hide. You ask me to lead you, but leadership requires releasing control. You ask me for strength, but strength is built through challenges. You ask me to bless you, but blessings require responsibility. My child, I am preparing you for future weight, not present comfort. I am preparing you for future doors, not present convenience. I am preparing you for the version of yourself you have not met yet. The stronger, wiser, more grounded version of you who will look back on this season and finally understand why I had to intervene the way I did. And child, listen closely now. I love you too deeply to let you destroy yourself with your own desires. I love you too fiercely to watch you walk into fire because you think the flame is beautiful. I love you too completely to let you be guided by temporary emotions that would lead you away from eternal purpose. You think you are choosing paths out of clarity, but often you are choosing them out of longing, fear, loneliness, habit, or nostalgia. I see beyond these things. I see the truth beneath the feelings you cannot yet name. Some of the people you keep trying to reconnect with carry wounds that would bleed into your life. Some of the environments you return to carry shadows that would dim your light. Some of the opportunities you chase are laced with hidden costs you are not meant to pay. Some of the habits you cling to are slowly stealing the energy you need for the calling I placed upon your life. You are not called to everything that calls out to you. You are not meant to carry every burden you feel responsible for. You are not meant to heal everyone at the expense of yourself. You are not meant to stay where your spirit feels trapped. You are not meant to revisit storms I already delivered you from. You are not meant to lower your worth to fit where you were never meant to be. I am leading you away from what drains you and toward what will restore you, even if the transition feels like loss. I am removing the counterfeit so you can receive the genuine. I am closing old chapters that cannot coexist with the story I am writing now. I am silencing voices that distort your purpose. I am revealing truths that will liberate your identity. I am cleansing the atmosphere around you so your soul can finally breathe without heaviness. Do not resist me, child. Resistance will only prolong your pain. Surrender is not weakness, it is alignment. Trust is not blind, it is anchored in love. Obedience is not bondage, it is freedom. Walk with me even when you do not fully understand. I will not mislead you. I will not abandon you. I will not forsake you. I will not let you fall beyond what I can catch. I will not let you wander beyond what I can restore. You are mine, and because you are mine, I am invested in every detail of your story. Not one tear you cry is unnoticed. Not one prayer you whisper is unheard. Not one longing of your heart is ignored. Not one wound you carry is dismissed. I am present in the silent spaces of your thoughts, in the unspoken aches you bury, in the moments you feel invisible to the world. I see you fully, and I love you fully. My child, you wonder how my power moves, how my hand intervenes in ways you do not perceive, how my presence shields you from dangers that never reach your eyes. Understand this. My power is not only displayed in miracles that shake the earth or signs that capture attention. My power is often revealed in quiet redirections, gentle restraints, subtle pauses, and silent protections that shape your path long before tragedy has the chance to touch you. You look for the dramatic, but I save you in ways so profound that only eternity will reveal how many storms never reached you because my hand stopped them before they formed. You walk through your days unaware of the battles waged around you, not because you are blind, but because you are protected. You do not see the traps that were dismantled before your foot could step into them. You do not realize how many harmful words were softened before they were spoken. How many harmful people were turned away before they entered your life. How many destructive choices you were shielded from by my quiet guidance. You think my miracles are rare, yet you live inside the evidence of my power every moment. The breaths you take without fear, the peace you feel without explanation, the sudden inner nudges that steer you away from danger, these are not coincidences. They are traces of my power moving on your behalf. My child, my power does not operate only in the spectacular. It operates in the ordinary, the hidden, the unseen. It operates when you change your mind at the last moment. It operates when you feel an unexplainable hesitation. It operates when you feel a sudden peace that makes no sense. It operates when I close a door you were desperate to open, because beyond that door was a devastation that would have altered the course of your life. You call it disappointment, but it was deliverance. You call it delay, but it was divine intervention. You call it confusion, but it was protection beyond your understanding. There are tragedies that would have overwhelmed your spirit had I not stepped between you and their path. Some were emotional storms, disguised in relationships that seemed promising but would have drained the essence of who you are. Some were financial traps that appeared like opportunities but carried consequences that would have crushed your stability. Some were spiritual attacks meant to pull you into darkness you were not equipped to fight. And some were physical dangers from which I shielded you through the slightest shift of timing, the smallest change in plans, the most delicate adjustment in your steps. My power does not need thunder to be real. My power does not need spectacle to be strong. When I save you from tragedy, I do not always shout. I often whisper. I do not always part seas. Sometimes I simply reroute you so you never have to face the waters at all. You see these interventions as interruptions, but they are lifelines. You interpret them as inconveniences, but they are miracles in disguise. The tragedies I save you from are not only external, they are internal as well. There are wounds I refuse to let reopen, lies I refuse to let define you, fears I refuse to let root themselves in your spirit. When you feel me pulling you away from someone or something that once felt comforting, it is not to punish you. It is to keep your heart from breaking in ways that would take years to repair. I protect not only your life, but your soul, your mind, your peace, your purpose. Child, you cannot fathom the power I give you access to when you trust me. My power is not distant. It resides in every corner of your being. It strengthens you when you think you cannot endure another moment. It rises within you when you are surrounded by uncertainty. It shields your mind when fear tries to overtake your thoughts. It steadies your heart when sorrow shakes your foundations. My power is not a force outside of you. It is the very breath that sustains you. You do not realize how many tragedies you survived simply because I whispered courage into your spirit. You do not realize how many destructive decisions you avoided simply because I gave you wisdom in moments you felt lost. You do not realize how many attacks against your identity failed because I kept you anchored in truth, even when lies surrounded you. The world sees strength, but I know it is my power that carries you. And child, my power does not only prevent disaster, it transforms it. There have been storms you walked through that were meant to destroy you, yet you emerged stronger, wiser, purified, and elevated. That was not by your strength alone. It was because my power surrounded you like a shield. You felt weak, but my power was perfect in your weakness. You felt shaken, but my power held you steady. You felt alone, but my power never left your side. There were nights when tears fell silently, and you thought no one heard. Yet I collected every tear as a testimony of your endurance and a reminder of my promise to bring beauty from brokenness. My power does not eliminate all suffering, but it guarantees that no suffering you experience will have the final word. I turn ashes into purpose, pain into wisdom, loss into transformation, and endings into beginnings. You ask how I save you from tragedy. I save you through foresight, through timing, through redirection, through restraint, through removal, through revelation. I save you through the very disruptions you once questioned. My power works in dimensions you cannot see. The enemy forms weapons, but my power disarms them before they leave the enemy's hand. The world forms storms, but my power shifts the winds before they reach you. People form judgments, but my power blinds their eyes to your vulnerability. You face trials, but my power turns them into testimonies. Child, my power does not only intervene, it equips you. It fortifies your faith so that when difficulties come, you do not collapse, you stand. It strengthens your intuition so you perceive danger before it forms. It deepens your discernment so you see through what once deceived you. It sharpens your awareness so you recognize my voice even in the noise of life. It awakens your spiritual senses so you can feel my guidance before your mind understands it. My power has saved you from tragedies that would have destroyed your purpose. There were relationships designed not for your growth but for your derailment. I removed them. There were paths designed to drain your identity. I closed them. There were decisions that would have led you into darkness. I redirected you. There were circumstances that would have suffocated your joy. I intervened. Sometimes I bring you out of danger. Other times I keep danger from ever reaching you. This is the power of a father who sees beyond time, beyond circumstance, beyond illusion. You see a moment, I see the lifetime it will shape. You see an opportunity, I see the cost hidden behind it. You see what glitters, I see what corrodes. You see what comforts, I see what binds. Child, my power is not passive, it is active. It moves ahead of you, behind you, beside you, within you. It speaks in the silence, fights in the shadows, intervenes in the unseen places where battles are waged on your behalf. You do not walk alone. You walk with the God who commands the stars, who separates light from darkness, who breathes life into creation, who holds the universe in place with a whisper. Do you not know that the same power that formed existence itself surrounds you every moment? The tragedies of life are real, yes, but my protection is greater. You will still face challenges, but my power ensures that no challenge will overtake you. You will still encounter pain, but my power ensures that pain will not define you. You will still experience loss, but my power ensures that loss will not leave you hopeless. I do not promise a life without storms. I promise a power that defeats storms. I have saved you from tragedies you prayed about, and tragedies you never knew existed. I have saved you from battles fought in spiritual realms you cannot see. I have saved you from the consequences of mistakes that my mercy erased. I have saved you from the weight of guilt you were never meant to carry. I have saved you from people who would have celebrated your downfall. I have saved you from environments that would have poisoned your purpose. I have saved you from versions of yourself that pain tried to mold you into. And child, I will continue to save you. Not because you earn my intervention, but because you belong to me. My power is committed to your protection, not because you are perfect, but because you are precious. You are chosen, beloved, guarded. You walk under the covering of a power that never weakens, never sleeps, never hesitates, never abandons. When you trust me, you align yourself with the power that commands miracles. When you surrender to me, you awaken the authority that breaks chains. When you seek me, you step into the light that exposes and destroys every hidden danger. When you follow me, you walk in paths where tragedy cannot dominate your destiny. My child, you do not belong to tragedy. You belong to me.